Good evening to all the good viewers of this program who watch this program with us on a weekly basis. Allow me to share the link in Telegram for everybody who wants to watch this program with us live. And then that way I can also have a chance to click on it and join you in YouTube as well. We had some difficulties in the Persian language when we were showing the videos. I'm hoping that that is solved because I did a few double checks and it seems that when I'm playing the video, the microphone is picking it up now. So as long as the microphone is picking it up, our problem should be solved. But you never know. So we know both Zoom and YouTube tend to like to create problems for us. So I'm hoping that they're not going to create more problems as it is, and they allow us to continue with our program as we're supposed to, because it seems like the microphone's okay with it. So allow me to start with sharing this video for you. And let me bring that video up so you have it. Hopefully when I play this video now, it'll be good. If I have any of the admins with us, I hope that they can help us out and let me know if there's a problem. If not, let me also ask them if they are here or not. Okay, you have it as well. I will check it out from my side as well so that we can figure out if there's any kind of problems. All right, if anyone is watching and there's a problem with the volume, let me know. What she is saying, this woman over here, she's complaining. By the way, this is in Iran, and she's complaining about they didn't put up any black flags in the street. I'm being told there is no sound. I'm not sure why there is no sound, because apparently it was picking up sound before. All right, if it's not going to have the sound, then I will play the video, and as it's playing, I'm just going to talk because I'll be able to translate it for you in English since it's in Persian. That way you're not missing out anything. And we'll pause it whenever I need to give answers to what she's saying and to explain to you what it's all about. So the Muslims, they just went through the month of Ramadan, and in Ramadan, the Shias, they have 3 nights in the later portion, the 19th, 21st, 23rd, where they beat themselves for the death and martyrdom of Ali, the cousin and slash brother-in-law slash son-in-law of Muhammad. Not brother-in-law, but slash brother by name. You know, they became brothers, Muhammad Sitsu. So they're crying that, oh, they didn't put any black flags to commemorate his death in the street. Okay? Now she's complaining about that, but you'll see what's going on in the background. Then she says that the Ali is meek. This Ali, he's a meek guy. You know, he was like the type of person where people took his rights away from him. She doesn't tell you that this Ali was also the Khalif of the Islamic Ummah, you know, the whole country of the Islamic movement, and them taking more countries and beating them in battles and taking the people as subjects. That was all during his time, that, you know, he was ruling over the people with an iron fist. She doesn't tell you about when there is a rule for when people go for Hajj, to visit the Kaaba, the structure in Saudi Arabia. Until today, when people go there, if they're married, well, there is no marriage in Islam. It's a FUCKING contract. But nevertheless, even if you have that contract, when you get there, you're supposed to be a single person. You know, like your wife is no longer your wife. Your contract for FUCKING is no longer your contract, you know. Except for Muhammad and Ali. When they go to Hajj, they bring their girlfriends. They pretend that they're temporary marriage, which is really a FUCKING contract, according to Islamic Arabic words, because as the waj is not there, it's nikah and nikah. They fooled us all thinking that we all are saying marriage, but apparently nikah only means FUCKING. And you know, if you don't do it, that means that contract never took place. But anyway, he would bring Muhammad and Ali, they would bring their girlfriends there, they would bring their contracts there, and they would put on a porn show, a XXX movie, in front of the people. I mean, they wouldn't even go and put up a tent and get inside the tent so that they would be, you know, in private. No. In front of the people while doing the pilgrimage. As they're walking, as they're walking, the penis gets hard and goes inside, well, you know where, of the woman. And they do the act, they finish the deed, and they pull out, because they like the pull-out method. They pull out where the semen can drip all the way down to the ground in front of the view of all the people. And afterwards they say, the rules are for you and not for them. Hence, they don't have to follow the rules. You have to follow the rules. Okay? She doesn't tell you all that part. For anyone who thinks that I'm joking or I'm making up something, if you've got the guts, go ahead and comment me and I'll show you the proof and I'll wipe the floor with you. Okay? At that time he was meek, and now he's meek. You know, now he's meek. That's why you got people all over Iran and Iraq and Bahrain and Pakistan and Syria and Lebanon. And when we leave Muslim countries, United States, Canada, France, Germany, Australia, Belgium, anywhere you find Shia Muslims around the world, they're beating themselves late into the night, holding programs, showing up in thousands and thousands at a mosque, nowhere to park your car. You know, they're crawling on top of each other like cockroaches inside the mosque, because even sardines in a can, they don't crawl on each other. Yes, they crawl on each other. You know, they put on a show, who can beat who the best. That's why if you go to the Telegram page, you'll find Pakistanis in Pakistan grabbing an actual machete and smashing it over their back, cutting their back into two. Yes. She doesn't tell you all of that. Oh, he's very meek. I mean, there's nobody for him. You know, people are just grabbing him by the throat, tossing him on the ground, taking with his hairs. I think she needs a checkup from the neck up. There's some problems up here, you know. I don't think she has a brain left anymore. Due to the brainwash that has been done, there is nothing left up there anymore, unfortunately. Continue. Why is the city like a dead city today? There is nothing going. I mean, it's dead. Look. You don't see these people behind her, like beside her. You see these two other women over here. She doesn't see them. She has the glasses on, but she can't see anyone. You know, the city is dead. You know, she's the only one there. I mean, the guy who's interviewing her, forget about him too. He doesn't exist. It's only her. It's a dead city. There is nobody in the city. Everyone's dead. There is nobody there, you know? Nobody came out. It's a dead city. Nobody's there. All these other people, they're dead too. They're not here. You know, these are all invisible people. You don't see anything. Nothing to see or hear, just move along kind of thing. Nothing to see here. Now this one. This one wants to know who's in charge of the city for these things. Well, look, forget about who's in charge for the city. Let's go for the big picture. Because the one who's in charge for the city, he has another mullah who's his boss, who's in charge for the whole entire province. You know, the guy who's in charge of the whole province, he's got a boss too. And his boss has got a boss too. And their boss got a boss too. And if you go all the way to the very end, it comes down to cockroach Sayyid Ali Khamenei, the spiritual leader of Islamic Republic of Iran. He is your number one boss. That's your answer. By the way, why are you wearing sunglasses? It's forbidden in Islam to wear sunglasses. When your prophet never wore it, you're supposed to cover the face so that, you know, the sun doesn't get in. You're showing too much face right now. You know, you got to be careful. You're going to end up in hell for showing so much face. She wants to know who's in charge. I just told you, it's Cockroach Ali Khamenei. Now she says, doesn't the person in charge want to find out what is going on? No. Sayyid Ali Khamenei, the cockroach, he's too busy counting all the money he's stealing from the people of the town. You know, the town you're in. And your husband is helping him do it. By the way, this is the women's section. Because, you know, when they hold these programs in the street, the men are way at the front. And then there is space. And then it's the women. So that the two don't touch her meat, you know. So this is the women's section. All these people came out. And she's complaining about who's in charge because we don't have a bunch of flags up. And it's a ghost town. Nobody came out. All these people are nobodies. You know, they don't exist. I think she was trying to count how many cockroaches she can see in the daytime. And because, you know, the leader is a cockroach. So she has to count the cockroaches. And she can't count the cockroaches because it's catch-22. It's daytime. The cockroaches don't come out in the day. They come out at night. So she's having difficulty finding where the cockroaches are. Who is the one in charge of the city? Who's the father of the city when it comes to all these type of programs? I just told you, it's Cockroach Ali Khamenei. She says it's not only this. Our mosques, they don't even make the call for prayer known as Adhan. They don't even say that in the morning for the morning prayer. They don't say it. They don't say it. It's easy to explain to you. You see, you yourself, you don't get up with that 300-pound body of yours in the morning to pray anyway. Nobody in your town gets up to pray anymore. The people had it up to here with you and your husband and your party and all the stupidity that you guys do in the name of Islam, only so you can cheat, steal the money of the people and make it harder for people to breathe air. So nobody wants to deal with you people. And your leader, your spiritual leader, Cockroach Ali Khamenei, you know, the guy you know as the guy who's like, you know, handicapped. Yeah, he's too busy counting the money he's stealing to worry about the Adhan in the morning for you. And she repeats the same thing. I guess I should just tell her, just rewind a little bit back and you'll hear my message to you. She's still crying over, there's no flag for this Ali guy. I mean, the guy, you want an Arab to be recognized in Iran that he died 1,400 years ago by the hands of other Arabs. And then you want in Iran, which is not an Arab country, to have a flag for him, while you don't even recognize the people that are beside you as people, and you say that the city is a ghost town. I mean, you can hear in the background, they're hitting the drums, boom, boom, for their programs. And she's still crying about it. I got an idea. You need a black flag. But you're wearing this chador all over you, this black sheet. Okay, it's literally a sheet. Okay, they're holding it. You see this woman over here? Her arm is visible. She's holding it. You know, you got to hold this whole thing. How about you take that sheet that you've covered your whole body and the clothes that you're already wearing underneath that sheet? You take that sheet and hold it in your hands up like this in the air so that the wind can wave it, and that can turn into a flag. Then you don't have a flag problem. I mean, you just have to use your sheet, which you call a chador. Look at this. I mean, as far as the eye can see, there's people out there. And she calls it a ghost town. Ghost town, ladies and gentlemen, ghost town. The lies that come out of the mouth of these Muslims is unbelievable. They lie and lie and lie about everything you can think of. But the more you study them, the more you can catch them in their lies. The next one for you is a link here from CNN. This is for all those people who think CNN tells the truth. You know, CNN likes to take one word that is true and add 55 lies to that word just so that they can get their agenda through. They don't care about reality. They don't care about people. They just care about their own agenda, their globalist approved agenda that favors the plans of the globalists. Many of the people that watch CNN are the same people that went and got the jab, you know, the COVID jab. They put it in themselves. Some of those people may not have had any side effects. The lucky ones, you know, they didn't see anything happen to them. Others have side effects that continue until today. I mean, it's all over the world. You can go ahead and see it. The fact checkers just need to open their eyes and see the truth that people document. Okay. Even Marjorie Taylor Greene is looking at people who say they have problems due to the jab that they took. So maybe the fact checkers need to fact check themselves before they try to fact check our program. Others died, unfortunately. You saw that a lot of the sports athletes in soccer and others who were in prime shape at a very young age just fall and die because it was a requirement to take the jab so they can fly from one country to another and participate in official World Cup matches, qualifiers, and so on. You all remember it. It happened in the Caribbean. It happened throughout Europe. Fact checkers need to go and look at it and open their own eyes and fact check themselves. So that's that. However, the globalists want you to be scared of everything. Now, a lot of people that took the jab, one of the side effects that they got is that their face is paralyzed. You know it as Bell palsy, but they got it, you know, where it's paralyzed, where they talk with only one side of the face is moving. You've seen that. It's growing and growing and growing and growing. And since COVID jab came out and people who took it, you see an increase in it. For some people, that condition stays for a while and goes away. For some, it lasts their whole life. However, there is another type of sickness out there where the person who has this type of sickness sees a normal human being but thinks he sees a demon. Well, the globalists decided that since last week was the eclipse, they can use the chance of people watching the eclipse as a scare tactic to scare you that if you watch the eclipse, you'll start to see people as demons so that they can pull you into a doctor's clinic and they can say you're mentally crazy or you've gone mad, and therefore the doctor needs to give you some medicine that you really didn't need so that you can be on more medication, so that the medication plus the jab plus other jabs plus other medications can eventually put you in a state where either you can no longer take care of yourself or that your body will finally give up on you and it'll be time to put you in your forever resting home in a cemetery somewhere. For this, they brought out this case. And it's not just them. All the news agencies started carrying it. It's like staring at demons. A man who lives with a disturbing condition. 59-year-old man, Victor Sarah. He has a roommate. His roommate is a girl, and the girl has a boyfriend. Let me make this short and sweet. This poor guy woke up one day, he saw his roommate come into the kitchen, and he saw a demon face on his girlfriend. Then the boy came in, and the boyfriend had a demon face. So he freaked out. He told them what he sees. They told him, "You're crazy, man. Something's wrong with you, man." And so the poor guy had to go and get treatment. So he went off and he got treatment. In case if you're thinking this is a crazy, far-fetched story, here is the Wikipedia about the sickness. It's got a super long name that I'm sure I will be butchering, just the same way that you people butcher names that are Arabic and Persian. When you want to say our names, you butcher it. You make it sound different. Same problem for us, you know. So the name of the sickness is actually two names. They have the official name, which is this long thing you see over here, like the last name of a Sri Lankan person, which has all the alphabets in the English language in it 2 times and more. But then they have a short form for it too, which is easier because even the English-speaking community has a problem saying this long name. But here we go. Prosophometemorphagia is the name of it. There's about 75 people that have this problem. This is a true problem. It's a mental problem. It's a rare disease. Not everyone has it, but some people do have it. Here is the same story from USA Today, another well-established big name in the news. They are going to use the short form name for this, which is PMO, okay? It's easier to say PMO than go through that whole entire thing. At least no one will butcher PMO. So they are talking about, apparently Victor had a 17-year head injury for which he went to the hospital in 2007. When he was working as a driver for the long haul, he hit his head on the trailer, jammed it. Okay, how he jammed his head. He was not being safe on the duty, okay? A lot of truck drivers are not safe. You got to be safe when you do your work. Anyway, when he unjammed his head, he fell on concrete and smashed his head to the concrete. Fortunately, they took him to the hospital. He dealt with the problems that he had in the hospital. And ever since then, when he came out, he's had multiple other problems. And due to those problems that he's had, all being head injury type problems, he ended up with this. They did an MRI on him. They figured out that this is the problem. And this is how he sees people. You see, like when he sees people, if someone has Bell palsy, like this guy over here, this bigger picture of the one guy, this guy has Bell palsy, right? There's a picture of someone with Bell palsy. You can see how one side of his mouth is like paralyzed when he's trying to smile, and he can pull the other one. Kind of looks like a demon, don't you think? I mean, like one eyebrow can go up, the other one cannot. He can get wrinkled on one side, but not the other. Why do we say he kind of looks like a demon? Because the people that have this PMO, head injury, mental problem, disease, they will see someone like this, okay? With no wrinkle, regular size ears, regular size nose, regular size mouth. But in their mind, they see it like this, with a mouth that's 4 times bigger, wrinkled face, a forehead stretched out, ears 4 times the size. When they look at him from the side, the ear comes up like Spock, and so on and so forth. So they see someone that's normal like that. So imagine when they have to see someone who has Bell palsy. Now, CNN and the rest, they want to scare you so that when you see someone with Bell palsy, you will start to think, oh, maybe I have PMO, because this guy had a normal face till yesterday, but now he's come down with the symptoms of Bell palsy overnight, but you haven't seen that and you don't know. So now you think because the guy had Bell palsy, you think that you have PMO, and therefore you need medicine. So they want to scare you so that you can run to the doctor. And then you can tell the doctor that you see people as what they're not. So the doctor can base his opinion on what you said and say, yes, you have PMO, and therefore has to now give you drugs for this PMO problem, which you didn't need, which will cause other problems for you because every drug has side effects. If you don't believe me, go and watch any commercial for any drug on TV. And first, they'll tell you how great it is. And then the second half of the commercial is about how this will give you urinary tract infection, and it'll make you, have headaches, and it could stop your heart, and blah, 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 and yada, yada, yada. And, goes on. Go watch any of them. I guarantee you, go watch any commercial about any drug. The first half, they're going to rant and rave about how good it is. The second half, they're going to tell you about all the different problems that drug is going to cause for you and symptoms that that drug has. And then those will pull you back into the doctor's office for more drugs. And by the end of it, you'll have a big bottle like this filled with drugs that you got to take on a daily basis. And after that, well, you're out of commission. And here is Bell palsy, about what happens to facial muscles and so on, the paralyzation that takes place. Here we have a link for you. We're going to the next topic. If you remember, I told you guys from 4 years ago that the globalists have a plan for World War III. The idea is depopulation. We talked about how the jab was part of it, but you need something that moves people faster towards depopulation. And normally that's done through world war, because when you have a world war, you can get rid of a lot of people very, very fast. And no one will say, hey, I have a problem with it. No one will object. No one will stand in your way. People will go along with it because they know that, you got to do what you got to do. It's time of war. However, that in itself has steps. You see, in order for them to do that, they got to make sure Donald Trump is not elected as president. As long as Donald Trump is elected as president, he will have an obstacle in the plan, all the globalists. Hence, they have to orchestrate ways to make sure that they can try their very best to help Joe Biden become president in the United States. Because as long as the United States president is going along with the globalist ideology, it's easier to get other presidents in other countries to go along with that plan. If United States president stands in front of that plan, well, that gives the green light for others to also try to stand in front of that plan too. Hence, you need the big shot to be with you so that all the smaller shots can go along with you. For that, Iran needed to do something to make it look like Joe Biden is a reliable president who can get things done. I told you guys about this back in October the 7th, when this war started 7 months ago, that Iran will play, but it will not get into a war with Israel until after the United States presidential elections is over. During that time, it's going to do everything it can to help Joe Biden stay in office. Iran is looking for, and when we say Iran, we're talking about the Islamic Republic of Iran, is looking for an excuse to hit Israel without hitting Israel, just to help Joe Biden. But by helping Joe Biden, you have to also help the rich Democrats. Why? Because the rich Democrats need more money to invest into Joe Biden. That money comes from the strings that the Islamic Republic of Iran pulls to help the rich become richer. For example, this is the link. This is from Yahoo.com's finance side, where they cover financial news. And it says, Fulham broke the 2,400 announced mark on Friday for the first time, as much as 2.4%, which comes out to $2,429.82. The U.S. and its allies believe a major missile attack by Iran or its proxies is imminent on Israeli strip because of the embassy compound in Syria. This brings us to last week. If you remember last week, I told you guys that the building beside Iran's embassy in Syria was hit by a missile by the Israelis, and because of that, the room in which IRGC's head was holding a terrorist meeting with Shia terrorists from the West Bank, all of them died. That room got damaged. But it wasn't a direct attack on the embassy. It was a direct attack on the building beside the embassy. So in reality, if you want to be technical, Israel did not attack Islamic Republic of Iran's embassy. Israel attacked the building of an Arab Syrian citizen that's next to the embassy. So in reality, Israel never attacked Iran's sovereign land. So when Islamic Republic of Iran wants to tell you that their sovereign land was attacked, that is a lie. But that is what we're seeing in this news, that Israelis struck the embassy. So you know that they're the globalists, because globalists are trying to paint this picture where Israel is evil. They claim Israel did something which it didn't do. Now, this is what the Islamic Republic of Iran will also use to say, aha, we were attacked. Because one fake news, two fake news, 10 fake news report the same fake news, and they try to legitimate it for Iran to use as well. Here's now another link from MSN.com. U.S. tries to avert Iranian retaliatory attacks on Israel. This means Joe Biden is trying to make it look like he is the one who's going to stop Iran from attacking Israel. Just like I told you 7 months ago, that this is all a ploy, game, in order to keep Joe Biden in office. Now, some of you might be thinking, well, Dr. Mosawat, we saw yesterday in the news that Iran attacked. We'll get to that. Step by step, people, step by step. We have another MSN link for you here, MSN.com. They say Iranian attack expected on Israel in the next 2 days. 2 days. Now, how do you know? I mean, do you work with the Islamic Republic of Iran? Obviously, this was fed to you by Islamic Republic of Iran and its IRGC, the terrorist organization. So you're sitting there and you're talking with terrorists, and the terrorists are telling you, like they're going to tell you, and then you can tell the rest of the world, so everyone knows when they're going to attack. You see, this would work if we were all, meaning all countries, back 1,000 years ago, when we didn't have these modern armies and modern weapon, and people still had to use a sword. Yes, back then it would make sense. You know, you tell the news agencies, they tell their governments of their own countries that on such and such date, at such and such hour, we are all going to meet by the mountain near that valley so that the two sides can meet, so they can be in close proximity to use a sword and some bow and arrows and some spears, and we will battle each other, and one army will prevail and the other one will be demolished. But today, in today's time, with modern weapons such as bombs, missiles, nuclear bombs, nobody needs to tell the other guy, hey, by the way, in 2 days, we're going to meet each other at such and such valley, and we're going to fight each other. Nobody does that anymore. Now you just say, okay, we are in war, and then you start the war. You don't tell the other side what time you're starting. You don't tell the other side where you're going to attack. You don't tell the other side what you want to do in advance. When you start doing that, you're putting on a show. And everybody else who's going to talk about that show and give out that news of that show, they're in on it. They're part of the show. MSN is part of the show. Yahoo is part of the show. The White House is part of the show. Islamic Republic of Iran is also part of the show. It's a show that's being played. This is no different than professional wrestling. You see, in professional wrestling, behind the scenes, they're all friends. But they'll cut a promo for you. They'll come in front of the TV. They'll advertise how they're going to go to the ring and how they're going to beat the other guy up. And then they go in the ring and they put on a great show for you. You'll be invested into the program. But when the program's over, they'll go out and they'll have their nice dinners together. The same guys that were in the ring, they'll sit down together. Their families will join them. It's a show. Likewise, here, you have a geopolitical show that's being portrayed in front of you. But you get invested into it. You think it's for real, but it's not. You see, for the big names that are in the show, this is a show. They don't care about you, the little people. You, the little people, have to think about yourself and not to fall for the show. Now we'll play the next video for you, but unfortunately, we don't have the sound because I don't know what's wrong with it. However, fortunately, the good part is you don't need the sound because it's in Persian, and I will be translating it for you into the English, so you don't need the sound of it. You'll just need to hear what I'm saying. Are we having a problem with the program as YouTube freezed on us? If it has, please let me know. I might have to restart it